Grace in the Dark prologue. Love the atmosphere on the title screen. And I don't know if you know this, but I don't even know if it was intentional or not. I have a hard time believing it isn't, but the fact that the prologue is renamed Grace in the Dark makes me think back at the, way back when the original trilogy released on DOS. A prequel minigame was released before Alone in the Dark 2 called Jack in the Dark, where Grace, the little girl whom we have also seen in the trailers for this remake, she went and got herself trapped in a haunted toy shop, and well, it was all then pretty much about you trying to get her out of there. I don't know if it tied into the story of the game aside from that, but I don't know. I think it's again, assuming that it's intentional. I think it's a cool callback that really gives you confidence that the developers for this game knew their lore. And I've only watched trailers, and I'm finally about to give this demo a shot now. But I'm a big Alone in the Dark fan ever since the fourth game, The New Nightmare on PS1, took my horror game virginity back when I was 13 years old. Loved horror games ever since. So I have. Alone in the Dark has a very special place in my heart, and of course I'm gonna pre-order the game. Haven't yet, but I'm gonna play the hell out of it because to make a long story short, I started with the fourth game, and then of course also played the soft reboot that was that one was only called Alone in the Dark. On PS3 and Xbox 360 and PC, though a version called Alone in the Dark Inferno was also released on PS3, which got rid of a lot of bugs and stuff like that. It was an alright game, not perfect, but it had a pretty good story, and I liked aspects of it. It wasn't complete rubbish. But I also played the original three games, albeit admittedly with a guide, because back in the DOS days, games to my experience were made very unbeginner friendly and very unhandholdy. I mean, you can argue nowadays that games are too handholdy in a lot of ways, but with the original Alone in the Dark games, I didn't know what to do without a guide. Sorry to say, and I like to think that I'm not a complete idiot. And then there was I don't know if it was a fan-made trailer that showed what a potential remake of the first game could be. A trailer that you can find it on YouTube. It looked very, very, very promising. But now we are officially, finally, soon going strong with an official reboot. And I don't know what the catalyst was. I don't know if it's because the Resident Evil remakes have done so well, but I'm just glad that, especially after the commercial fiasco that was Alone in the Dark Illumination, I'm just glad to see Alone in the Dark back on the map. And I have from what we've seen, again, I have a pretty good feeling about it this time. Don't suppose there's anything I need to... Inverted horizontal camera. I usually prefer that on. Does it? I guess I can always turn it off again. Audio. Danish, please. Wonder how long it is. How old is she supposed to be? Supposed to be in the original game. She looks 10 here at least. Curious. Okay, camera is perhaps a bit too sensitive.
Not my best work, if I'm being honest.
Well, you're better than me, that's for sure.
I can't wait to paint this. Gonna give it a big mustache.
Wow, the one on the right is really pretty.
Look at this mess.
Look at this mess. I missed a jump scare there by not focusing on the door. Damn it.
Oh goodness, you scared me.
What are you up to, Jeremy?
I have to tell someone what is going on here. I have to try. You're not one of them, are you? Please tell me, Grace. You're not a spy, are you?
Who's spy?
Them. The others. All of them. No, you're too innocent.
I'm too innocent.
I need to get this letter to my niece. She would understand.
Just give it to the clerk, Mr. Waits, and he'll post it.
No, he could be in on it. What if he won't post my letter?
Then don't make it look like it's one of yours. Here, let me do it. Miss Emily Hartwood, Dauphin Street, New Orleans. You don't have the number? Not sure the postman's gonna find it without... Jeremy? Where'd he go? I'll just post it myself then.
Here's a good girl.
I'll just take this letter downstairs to the clerk's office myself.
But man, is she supposed to look that dead in the eyes? Don't you just hate that? I mean, okay, first of all, Jeremy. Okay, so is he? He's the guy who commits suicide in the first game, whereas either Emily or Edward Carnby, you have to solve the mystery of his suicide. You know how you start in the attic, where you find his suicide note on the old piano. But when I got out of Grace's room, the door on the left, I was convinced that would be the door to plot, so I avoided it. And then I went in this door instead because I figured that was not the way to plot, but it was the way to plot. I don't know how I always manage to do this, but when I try to avoid plot in order to explore, I always end up with plot anyway.
How are there so many books in this house and still nothing I want to read?
Know that feeling, sweetheart. Know that feeling.
Uh-oh, Cassandra. I'm touching your typewriter.
Don't you fucking dare! Stairhole key.
I wish Batiste would drive me around all day. Maybe if I broke my leg.
Don't you get any funny ideas?
Huh? Cassandra should be more careful with her medicine. I already washed my hands today.
Oh, one time? Girl, I wash my hands at least 30 times a day. Should really get some oil on that door. So this door was locked the whole time.
They're so creepy.
says the girl who hangs herself in the trailer. Now it's a horror game. But that's also something I'm very, very curious about, because in the original trilogy, Grace wasn't a thing until the second game. But this game, you know, alone judging by the title. By the title background, you know, with the gate saying Deserto, we all know that the remake is going to take place in a Deserto manner, where we play as either Emily or Carnby, like in the original game. But Grace is also in the remake. So it makes me. I mean, I don't think that this game is gonna be about zombie pirates. What the hell do I know? But I'm curious to see if they are gonna combine the first two games, or maybe elements from this first two games, or maybe we only see Grace in this prologue demo and then she's completely absent for. Maybe she's completely absent for the full game. I don't know. I was just surprised that the demo was about her. Damn. She's completely desensitized. But then what am I gonna do? I can't go down there because the ground floor is a swamp. Can you run? No, only. And now these statues have tumbled over. Meaning I can't go back. Oh. Clever girl. It's so cute to see her stumble around. See, that's another thing I really wish that horror games did more. We have all played you know, all the horror games ever made where you play as where you mostly play as an adult with a, I was about to say, a fully functional body, a fully developed body is what I meant to say. But then we look at Grace in the previous room where she puts the letter in her mouth, vaults over the handrail, and then with her, you know, her not so strong child body tries to knock over this big heavy bear statue in order to make her way across. I would really like to see a horror game completely played from the perspective of a child in a realistic setting like this, because you know, a child would be is so much more fragile than a grown adult. I don't know, I just think that would be really interesting. How would a modern 3D horror game play if you only played from the perspective of a child who doesn't have a fully developed body that is, you know, you're not as strong, your limbs are not as long, and it just comes with a lot of limitations to be a child.
I suppose this mess pales in comparison to the foyer. Oh, a little night music.
Nope.
Mr. Waits, hello?
Not this way either. But on the other hand, you can get through narrow passages like this. Alone in the dark. Was that it? It was barely 20 minutes, and that was only because I stopped up so many times to babble.
Last night I dreamt that my uncle hung himself in the attic, that we were too late. The house looked different, but it was still called Derceto.
Derceto?
Definitely a weird place. Feels like I've been here before, I just can't think why.
Call back
Let's
to
not
the
waste
original.
any time, Detective.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go get your uncle, Miss Hartwood.
Okay, so she dreamt that her uncle had hung himself and that they were too late, and he feels like he has been here before, but he doesn't know why. Both being callbacks to the first game, because in the first game, Emily received her uncle's suicide note. He was already dead and gone. There was there was nothing to do. So in this remake, maybe there's still time to save him. Either way, I'm really interested to see where this is all going. Also because, are we gonna see more of Grace? I mean, that big monster thing, I don't suppose it killed her. And I just loved the expression of of complete indifference on her face as she faced towards the camera, like, okay, I don't have I obviously don't have my camera connected right now, but you saw it. That whole huh? Is something behind me? Look. No, but I don't know. A little disappointed that it wasn't longer than that. That there weren't really any puzzles to solve, because there was in Jack in the Dark. Like I said, the bonus prequel to Alone in the Dark 2, where she was stuck in that toy shop. That had puzzles. Here was just us walking around, investigating stuff. Suddenly it got dark and the place got infested by monsters. I thought for sure that we were gonna have to do something about those mannequin statues, but not even that. So yeah, it was really just us making our way from the first floor to the ground floor. I suppose the only real puzzle there was, and not even a puzzle, but you know, that whole vaulting over the handrail and knocking over the bear statue. That was the only real gameplay. But I don't know, it was just I mean, like, guess I can't be too hard on it. It was a prequel demo meant to and what is a demo if not something that's just meant to, you know, give you a feel for the controls, which, I mean, not because Grace is a child, but I felt she felt a bit too light to move around, like there wasn't really any weight behind her body. But the graphics were nice. Don't really like the whole, you know, when you walk into something, you easily knock over stuff. I prefer it when things that are non-interactable, they are glued together. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but when Grace walked into a table, the books toppled over, giving it a kind of cheap, plasticky feel to it. I never liked that kind of game engine, but it is what it is. And again, it was just a prequel demo, and it didn't really promise anything. Like it didn't overpromise or underpromise. It was exactly what it. I wish it was longer. I wish we played as Grace a bit longer again to you know, the whole thing I talked about you know, playing a horror game as a child with all the shortcomings and benefits that comes with. But again, demo, supposed to be short, prequel, well, it was a prequel. We saw her send the letter, and apparently the monster moved. Apparently the monster moved away since the letter did get sent. But yeah, October can't get here fast enough. There's this game coming out, and Spider-Man 2, and Alan Wake 2. October is gonna be stuffed. Me personally, I don't know if I'm gonna buy all 3 games in 1 month. I mean, knowing me, I might. But I'm definitely getting Alone in the Dark on launch and Alan Wake on launch. I mean, Alone in the Dark has always been this kind of... We never really knew if we were gonna get anything new, and it's always been that strange kind of IP that we never really knew what to expect from it. Alan Wake, on the other hand, we were always keeping out hope for a sequel, and now, 13 years later, we finally got it. Or are getting it, I should say. I don't really know who I'm gonna play as in the full game, because the full game, like the original game, gives you the choice between the 2 main protags. And I mean, I like Edward's gruff style he's going on, but I usually choose to play as a female whenever given the choice. I'm really not sure. Let's see if we say pre-order. Indhold blev ikke fundet. Huh. So apparently I can't pre-order via the game, I have to pre-order directly via the PlayStation Store. Gonna take a snapshot. But yeah, this open ending with Grace staring perplexed into the camera, and the monster approaching her from the back, really again makes me wonder if she's gonna have a bigger role in the full game. Almost feel like trying it again, but I don't think there was anything I missed or anything really worth replaying it for. I like how Jeremy just straight up went, "No, you're too innocent, dude. Do you know how dark and cruel children can be? Especially in I mean, he doesn't know that he's in a horror game, but children can be messed up in, I guess, an innocent kind of way. I mean, they don't always know that when they are messed up. Kind of like, no, I guess that the Evelyn from Resident Evil 7, she knew full well what she was doing, but she had been raised like that, in a way. She had been raised to be messed up. Anyway, looking forward to the full game in 4 more months. Oh well, it's not like I don't have anything else to play in that time. I say, looking over at my big ass backlog for both PS4 and 5, I have plenty to work with. So October is gonna be here sooner than I think. So with that said, thank you all for watching, and even though this was a very short demo, hope you're looking as much forward to the game as I am. It's of course free to download if you fancy, if you have a PS5 yourself. So yeah, that's all folks, and remember, we are all heroes.